This week in gaming, the exploration update hit Minecraft, bringing llamas. Ubisoft may be seeing some legal trouble. That's drama. Their winter sports game Steep is currently in open beta on Steam until November 21st, 2016, so hurry up and download it for free while you can. The Banner Saga 2 is now available in Japanese. The Legend of Zelda is spilling over into the real world, more details on that. And Overwatch Free Weekend is happening right now, and thanks to the ongoing SAG-AFTRA strike, it's been revealed that Telltale's upcoming Marvel game is Guardians of the Galaxy themed. This is 1RBC Gaming Weekly. We have some interesting legal news this week. To start with, if you're a game streamer or Let's Player and you manage to score EA as a sponsor, you're gonna have to disclose it. This week, Electronic Arts is calling for folks covering their games in exchange for some sort of incentive to say, hey, this is coming from EA. They're going to have to use the hashtag supported by EA for coverage that's been facilitated in some way, shape, or form. So, if EA pays for airfare to get to an event for people to try their games, they're going to have to disclose it like that. Further, they're going to have to use the hashtag advertisement for something that's an ad that EA is straight up paying for. What's more, streamers and Let's Players will need to have a clear heads up of their own devising, or they'll have to use one of EA's watermarks. Personally, I think this is a step in the right direction. The world of game marketing has come under a bit of scrutiny lately thanks to the rise of sponsored content with insufficient disclosure. The FTC has already slapped Warner Bros. Interactive Entertainment on the wrist for this, thanks for their failure to have people properly disclose for Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor. It's clear that EA is trying to protect their wallets and their brand. Ultimately, this is good for the consumer. It means that they'll be a little bit more aware of what constitutes traditional actual coverage, and what constitutes a paid promotion. In less happy legal news, some Ubisoft executives have been accused of insider trading. The accusation comes from l'Autorité des Marchés Financiers, the AMF for short, which is the French stock market regulator. Yanni Mayet, Olivier Paris, and Francis Bayet, forgive my French, I have no idea what I'm saying here, are three of the 5 accused executives. The charges are that they sold company stock prior to the announcement that Watch Dogs and The Crew would be delayed back in 2013. The announcement of the games being delayed caused Ubisoft's stock to take a 26% hit. If these people received insider information about the upcoming delays, they could be in some serious legal trouble. Perhaps you're fond of the pop culture phenomenon that is the Room Escape game. If you happen to be a fan of Nintendo's Legend of Zelda franchise, we have got some great news for you. Scrap Entertainment announced this week that they've collaborated with Nintendo to create a Zelda-themed escape game called Defenders of the Triforce. In this game, players are assembled into groups of 6 and use clues in order to solve puzzles and escape the scenario. It's a much less sinister experience than it sounds. Bear in mind, this isn't a video game, but a real-life event being brought to a number of venues. You actually have to show up and solve real-world puzzles. The game is coming to 8 cities in the United States. Tickets for the first 4, in San Francisco, Los Angeles, San Diego, and Phoenix, Arizona, have already sold out. Personally, I have not tried a room escape game yet, though they are gaining popularity. If this sounds like your idea of a good time, you may want to look into it. Dates and ticket prices for Chicago, Seattle, Houston, and New York are yet to be announced. If you've been thinking about picking up Sid Meier's Civilization VI, now might be a decent time to grab it, as the game's received a sizable update that fixes a ton of bugs, quality of life issues, and improves the game's AI. Additionally, the game now has support for DirectX 12 and the Logitech Arcs application, which allows you to use your cell phone or tablet, iOS or Android, as a second screen for additional in-game information. For something like Civilization, that's really helpful. There's also some fun stuff in this patch, such as a couple of new maps as well as a new scenario, Cavalry and Cannonades, which is set during the Industrial Era and involves snatching up as much land as possible within the allotted time of 50 turns. Sid Meier's Civilization VI is available on Windows and Mac OS X. Do you have $500 to blow? Are you a virtual reality racing enthusiast? Well, if so, great news. Thrustmaster this week unveiled the TS PC Racer, a video game racing wheel that goes on sale on December 5, 2016 for $499.99, and it comes with suede covers for the wheel's grips and, get this, has a power supply with a toroidal shape, which according to the press release, ensures optimized efficiency versus heat at 86%. Personally, I'm just gonna stick with the Mad Catz wheel and pedals I got from Goodwill, thank you very much. Pokemon Sun and Moon were leaked well before their release date. These latest games in the Pokemon franchise have been available on video game piracy sites for a while, and so while pirates have been having fun with the games, the fun ended this week as Nintendo has banned people who've been caught online with pirated copies of the game from Nintendo's online services. Naturally, people are upset about this. There is some outrage on the internet amongst pirates. While I do feel a little sorry for the folks who've been booted from Nintendo services, frankly, if you're smart enough to pirate games, you should be smart enough to know that Nintendo will punish you. It's been that way forever. In game releases this week, Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon have been released, legally. In case you are somehow unfamiliar with the Pokemon franchise, I'll assume you've just come out of a 21-year coma, in which case, congratulations! The game is an RPG in which you catch friendly monsters and make them do battle with other monsters, like the cheery animal abuser you are. You use your monsters to challenge gym leaders, earn badges from them, and occasionally fight the forces of organized crime. Seriously though, it is generally good clean fun. The latest entries in the series, Sun and Moon, have thus far received pretty good reviews. From what I've heard, the game's designed with a fantastically gentle learning curve. The best in any game in the series thus far. At least, that's what the critics are saying. So if you're looking to get into the Pokemon series, this is a fantastic starting point. What really sets Sun and Moon apart is that it's set in the Hawaii-inspired Alola region. Pokemon from the previous games in the series have special Alola forms. Their abilities and appearance vary a bit, which is pretty neat. Besides the improved learning curve, critics have also praised the game's visual style, which takes decent advantage of the Nintendo 3DS's hardware. There are also some fresh mechanics in the game, such as the Z moves. You unlock these for your individual Pokemon after battles with gym leaders, and you can whip these things out once per battle. Both versions of the game have a few exclusive Pokemon, the ones in Pokemon Sun being a bit more daytime-oriented, the ones in Moon being, you guessed it, nighttime-oriented. Overall, this is definitely a Pokemon title worth picking up, whichever you pick. Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon are available on the Nintendo 3DS. This has been a pretty good week for the 3DS, as Nintendo's released the messaging app Swapdoodle. Now, this Swapdoodle is a sort of follow-up to Swapnote. That ships free on every 3DS. The application could be used to draw cute little notes and share stuff online between users. The service was quite private, and it ran fine until there was an incident involving inappropriate messages and minors, at which point Swapnote was pretty much killed. It's not as though the application itself was to blame. After all, you had to swap information with a person first to make contact with them through the app, meaning that whatever happened through Swapnote could have also happened through email, or really any other online messaging service. Still, Nintendo didn't want to deal with that PR nightmare, and they shut it down. This week, Nintendo brought it back with Swapdoodle, which comes with bonus drawing features, so you can send happy little messages to your friends accompanied by works of art. I can't draw to save my life, but maybe you've got better art skills. Swapdoodle is free for the Nintendo 3DS. If you make something cool, feel free to shoot it to us in a tweet at OneRuleBeCool, and if we like it, we'll share it on next week's episode. Just be sure to keep it family friendly. We can't have the app getting shut down again. A really interesting game called The Sandbox Evolution was released on Steam this week. Now, it's a sort of sandbox game in that it's about making your own fun. Okay, that's a terrible way to describe it because that's a hallmark of sandbox games. A Steam user review says that it's like Minecraft mashed up with Mario Paint and that it works pretty well. In The Sandbox Evolution, you can build your own platformer levels, compose chiptune music, and play with physics and pre-existing elements. The game has received great reviews from players thus far, and it comes loaded with content and tools. It almost looks like a sane version of Gary's Mod. It's been a pretty busy week for me, and I've not had the chance to try this game, but you can bet it's going on my wishlist. The Sandbox Evolution is available for Windows. Roller Coaster Tycoon World was released on Steam this week for Windows, and it's gotten some really bad reception. In this game, you build roller coasters and theme parks. It's supposed to be the latest game in the beloved Roller Coaster Tycoon franchise, but unfortunately it seems that this game was rushed out the door. The players are reporting a metric ton of glitches and issues, which is a real pity. That said, I'm disappointed but not surprised to see that Atari has published this. The company has, sadly, become a shell of its former self. You probably won't want to pick this up unless the developers fix it and fix it well. That they rushed so hard to release might have something to do with the fact that a couple of other Roller Coaster Tycoon style games are coming out. Architect, which is coming soon, and Planet Coaster, which was released this week. Now, regarding Planet Coaster, not to be confused with Roller Coaster Tycoon World, which received a full release on Steam this week, really seems to be worth picking up. Now, in this game you design a theme park, and this involves landscaping, which in turn can involve excavating caverns, raising mountains, creating floating islands, whatever your heart desires, and then building rides on this landscape. Then, from there, you manage your guests and parks and marketing campaign to actually convince people to come over and ride your crazy death traps. Besides getting a lot of good reviews from players on Steam, the game's critical reception from the press has also been great. The game's intuitive functions for design, options for customization, and overall polish have gotten a lot of praise. Check out Planet Coaster if you're looking for a good fun game about building theme parks. Planet Coaster is currently available for Windows. And now, for a brief word from our sponsor. Well, would you look at that? I am the sponsor. Well, this week I'll be telling you about my upcoming book, Playing the Press, How to Reach Game Journalists. It's coming out very, very soon. If you're an indie video game developer, you may want to consider purchasing the book if you're doing your own public relations work. Promoting a game can be stressful. It's enough of a job that there are entire agencies dedicated to doing it. So, what do you get with Playing the Press? Over a half-decade of wisdom from a video game journalist and information on how to reach us, the game journalists, how to work with us at events like PAX and Comic-Con, and how to convince us to cover your game. Also, how to hold on to that interest. You can visit onerulebecool.com in order to sign up to our newsletter and find out just when the book's going on sale. You can also follow us on Twitter at onerulebecool if you prefer that sort of thing. In crowdfunding news this week, the game Le Grand Legacy hit Kickstarter. Currently in development by the Jakarta-based Semisoft, the game's a JRPG that draws on some of the classics as Legend of Dragoon and Suikoden. In Le Grand Legacy, you play as Finn, a reluctant hero with facial scars and a mysterious past living in a somewhat sad fairy tale world. Regarding the gameplay, it's good old-fashioned tactical turn-based stuff. So if you'd like to try this game out for yourself, there is a demo available to download from the Kickstarter page. Overall, this game looks really promising. You should check it out if you're looking for a new fantasy RPG. Le Grand Legacy is currently in development for Windows.
I've always been a gamer since I was a little kid. My favorites are those that leave your jaws drop. After a quiz, unforgettable scenes, and climatic ending. I dream for my fellow gamers to experience that same epic journey that they will never forget. The Grand Legacy follows the story of 6 unlikely heroes who are on a journey trying to prevent another worldly invasion. But instead, they will find that the biggest threat lies within themselves. Set in a world where its balance is threatened, this is a tale about heroism, sacrifice, and betrayal. In order to make this labor of love come true, we have gathered a group of talented individuals, as well as partnering up with Indonesia's leading studios. A grand total of 81 talented individuals have worked or are currently working on Le Grand Legacy. We knew from the beginning that we wanted to involve the community in the development of our game, but we also wanted to wait until we have something solid to show, to prove our commitment and capability. We have invested 2 years of full-time development work and personal funds into the game. Our success now is in your hands. My name is Will, founder and CEO of Semisoft. Please support us in making this dream come true.
Coming to Mac, Windows, Linux, and the PlayStation 4 on December 13th is Drive, 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 a racing game in which you're driving on multiple tracks at the same time. It looks pretty crazy. We've got the trailer here for your viewing pleasure. Enjoy. Well, that's it for this week's game news. For all the greatest game news and editorials, be sure to follow at OneRuleBeCool on Twitter and Instagram. Follow me at Jordan_Cameron for my own thoughts.